Hollywood loves a good franchise, especially when it rakes in billions. But let's be real, some of these money-making machines are more about the cash grab than quality. Here are $8 billion franchises that somehow managed to hit it big without a single good movie in the lineup. The Step Up series kicked off in 2006 with its best entry, thanks mainly to the undeniable chemistry between Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan. Their impressive choreography was a standout, but beyond that, Step Up didn't have much going for it. The plot was a predictable cliché, and its attempts to mimic the gritty vibe of 8 Mile were laughably off the mark. Despite this, the movie spawned 5 sequels and a TV spin-off, raking in over $500 million at the box office.
Think of a house as like a super crew. Dancers work together, live together, battle together. It's crazy, right?
This place is incredible.
She has more talent and more conviction than anyone else I know.
The original Leprechaun is best remembered for featuring a pre-Friends Jennifer Aniston, and not much else. It's a cheesy horror comedy that isn't scary enough to terrify or funny enough to entertain, landing awkwardly in that tonal no man's land that trips up many genre films. Still, it was a financial success, earning over $8 million on a $1 million budget. This led to 5 direct sequels and 2 reboots. Though only the 2018 sequel Leprechaun Returns is somewhat watchable, even if it's far from good.
My ear! He got my ear!
You got the back door, right?
Ow!
You gotta stop the bleeding.
You can kill anything. What the hell are you? You just gotta know how to do it.
Stephen King's short story, Children of the Corn, is a masterclass in turning a simple setup into something genuinely scary. But its 1984 movie adaptation missed the mark completely. The film's supposed threat came off more comical than frightening, yet it still managed to spawn 10 sequels. These included 8 direct follow-ups, a 2009 TV movie remake, and a much-delayed 2023 prequel, none of which managed to capture any real scares.
I know, it sucks. It's so hard sometimes you can hardly breathe. But I can help with your pain. Brace yourself.
While the Twilight series had its critics, it managed to avoid this list thanks to at least a couple of decent entries. The same can't be said for the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy, infamous for being based on Twilight fan fiction that inexplicably became a bestseller. The movies were corny, painfully serious, and completely devoid of humor. Worse yet, the erotic romance failed at being even remotely sexy, leaving audiences cold and critics merciless, much like Netflix's later 365 Days franchise.
So you're a control freak?
I exercise control in all things.
It must be really boring.
The Fantastic Four have had several attempts at big screen success, but none have stuck the landing. It all started with the unreleased 1994 film, a project so disastrous that rumors swirled it was made just to retain the rights. Things didn't get much better with the 2005's garish cartoony Fantastic Four and its 2007 sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer, both of which flopped both financially and critically. And then there was the 2015 reboot, dark, edgy, and somehow even less fun than its predecessors. It's a franchise that just can't seem to get it right, no matter how many tries it gets.
4 have survived. All exhibit unique physical conditions.
I just want to fix my friends.
You can't fix this.
You should use these powers to help people.
Horror video game adaptations sometimes fare better than other genres, but Resident Evil proves that's not always the case. The 2002 film was highly anticipated, given the game's popularity, but it bafflingly deviated from the source material at crucial points. Despite this, the movie was a box office hit, spawning 5 sequels and a 2021 reboot. Yet, none of these installments managed to satisfy the fans, making this franchise feel like a zombie that just won't stay dead.
What were Umbrella doing here?
This is where they're experimenting on him.
We should split up.
The Underworld series had a straightforward, promising setup. Kate Beckinsale's Celine, a vampire assassin caught in a centuries-old war between vampires and werewolves. But as Twilight sequels have shown, even this can get boring. Across 5 films, Underworld proved that cool visuals and a badass heroine aren't enough to keep things interesting, with each sequel offering little more than over-edited, suspense-free action scenes. The franchise had potential, but it never quite delivered on its premise.
Why are they after you?
Who are you people? You're in the middle of a war that's been raging for the better part of 1,000 years. A blood feud between vampires and lichens. Werewolves.
The disastrous reception of Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore may have finally sunk the Fantastic Beasts franchise, but it's worth asking if it ever deserved to succeed. The Crimes of Grindelwald was already a convoluted mess, so the original movie needed to be an instant classic to justify the sequels. Instead, 2016's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was riddled with issues: naughty plotting, problematic stereotypes, predictable twists, and a lack of compelling characters. The franchise's flaws were there from the start, making its downfall almost inevitable.
Things are not quite what they appear.